Honorable Chairman of Verkhovna Rada, dear Ruslan, honorable members of the Verkhovna Rada, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Я дуже радий повернутися до Києва, столиці вільної незалежной та демократической Украины. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to speak to you today for the second time in this year. I also would like to forward you, yesterday I had the opportunity in Warsaw where I met with Mrs. Elizabeth Witek, the Speaker of the Sejm of Poland, and she requested, I am sending to you the warmest greetings from her. The first time this year was on 24th March, exactly 1 month after the war started, when together with my Latvian and Lithuanian colleagues, I was among the first representatives of foreign countries to visit your capital, to visit your great country. Since then, some things have changed and some have not. What unfortunately has not changed is the ongoing Russian aggression against Ukraine. This brutal war has now lasted for almost 300 days. Russia's aggression has caused immense suffering of the people of Ukraine. Tens of thousands have been killed and millions have been forced to leave their homes. Russia alone bears the responsibility for this. Estonia condemns, in the strongest possible terms, the Russian war of aggression against Ukraine. Russian attacks against civilians and critical infrastructure, including energy facilities, are acts of terror in places like Bucha, Borodianka, Irpin, Mariupol, and the others. The Russian Federation has committed acts of genocide against men and women, against boys and girls. The Parliament of Estonia, the Riigikogu, has adopted statements recognizing Russian aggression against Ukraine as an international crime. The mass atrocities committed against the civilian population as a genocide against the Ukrainian people, condemning the annexation of the territory of Ukraine and declaring Russian regime a terrorist regime. We don't know exactly how and when this war will end, but we do know that it will not end with Russian winning. History teaches us the issue of responsibility is extremely important. Estonia supports all the efforts to ensure independent and effective investigations into the crimes committed by Russia in Ukraine. War crimes and crimes of aggression must be punished. Therefore, Estonia also strongly supports Ukraine in establishing a special tribunal to prosecute the crime of aggression in Ukraine. In addition, Russia has to pay reparation for the damage caused to your country, to Ukraine. Dear friends, dear ladies and gentlemen, since last time I was here, one thing firmly stands unchanged: the spirit of Ukraine, the heroic resistance of the Ukrainian people, the will to defend itself against aggressor has even grown stronger. You are fighting for the freedom and territorial integrity of Ukraine, but also for the free, rule-based, democratic world. I thank you, all the brave people of Ukraine, the soldiers, the members of the Verkhovna Rada, and the leaders of Ukraine. I thank you, your resistance, for your courage, for your love of freedom. I thank you for dividing Europe from the Russian imperialism. I pay tribute to all those who have lost their lives in this fight. Dear Ruslan, dear member of the Verkhovna Rada, what has also not changed and will not change, Estonia stands firmly by side of Ukraine. This will remain so until the occupied territories have been liberated and justice has been served. Dear friends, one thing has clearly changed, namely the determination of international partners to raise the cost of aggression for Russia. Over the past month, Estonia and other democratic countries have worked together with Ukraine to impose further sanctions against Russia. The latest example of this is setting a price cap of Russian oil, with the objective to limit Russian oil revenues. In our views, this agreement is a step in the right direction, but is not enough. Our aim is to completely stop Russian profiting from oil shales. We will tirelessly keep working on reducing Russia's oil revenues. We will keep imposing sanctions as well as isolating Russia on the international area. Our political, military and economic support to Ukraine has also increased over the months, Estonia being among the first to donate Ukraine weapons already before the war started. Has the state given military assistance in the value of more than 255 million euros. This is roughly one-third of Estonia's defense budget. We will continue assisting Ukraine with necessary equipment and training. For us, it is also clear that there is no security in Europe without security in Ukraine. Therefore, we call on our NATO allies to increase defense assistance to Ukraine, including supplying heavy weaponry and air defense systems. Our economic and humanitarian assistance is focusing on helping Ukraine to survive the winter and to cope with the damage to energy infrastructure. We are sending warm clothing, food packs, as well as generators, current transformers and other energy system components. We are also convinced that we cannot wait until the war is over and only then start with rebuilding. Therefore, we have contributed to the reconstruction process already for several months. Our particular focus is on the region of Sutomir, where, as the first step, Estonia is building a kindergarten in the city of Ovrush and rebuilding a bridge in the city of Mailõe. We are also sending 44 buses to Sutomir and other regions in order to help restore to public transport. Honourable members of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Ukraine belongs to the European family, and your integration with Euro-Atlantic structures will greatly contribute to the peace and stability in Europe. Since my last time here, Ukraine has become a candidate country of the European Union. Although achieving the candidate country status is a big step forward, it is still only beginning of the road leading your membership in the EU. We admire your commitment to move on with necessary reforms on your EU path. Estonia is fully devoted to share our EU experience with you and help you to advance towards future EU membership. We are convinced that Ukraine will be a full-fledged member of the renewed Europe. Estonia fully supports also Ukrainians' NATO aspirations. 20 years ago, Estonia, together with a number of other European countries, were invited to join NATO, and I hope that rather sooner than later, the day will come when your country, when Ukraine, will be invited to join NATO. Estonia is currently focusing on ensuring NATO's strongest possible support to you. Members of the Verkhovna Rada, the relations between our two parliaments have always been very good, but during the war our already close relations have intensified even further. It was only 2 weeks ago when nearly 10% of the members of Estonian Parliament, members of the Estonian-Ukraine Parliamentary Friendship Group, visited Ukraine. The visit followed many previous visits of the members of the Riigikogu to Ukraine and the visits of the members of the Verkhovna Rada to Estonia. I would like especially thank Mr. Arseny Pucharenko, head of the Ukrainian-Estonian Interparliamentary Group of Verkhovna Rada, for his outstanding work in promoting the relations between our two parliaments and countries. And this week, I am really good and great in this regard. Right after my visit to Ukraine on Thursday, will come welcome your deputy speaker, the first chairman of the Verkhovna Rada in Tallinn. But of course, the bonds have strengthened not only between the politicians, but first and foremost between our people. Estonia is currently a new home for more than 60,000 Ukrainians who had to leave Ukraine because of Russian aggression. As a result, the population of Estonia is today 5% larger than it was a year ago. Over 8,000 Ukrainian children are going to the Estonian schools. Estonian people have warmly welcomed the Ukrainians and supported them. Perhaps the best example of this strong solidarity is the fact that over 80% of all the humanitarian assistance provided by Estonia has been donated by private sector, private companies and NGOs. Starting from 4-wheel drive vehicles and ending up with nets for soldiers, I am convinced that today's solidarity, support and assistance is the foundation for the friendship and cooperation between our people for the years to come. Dear members of the Verkhovna Rada, ladies and gentlemen, on the 24th of February 2023, we will celebrate the 105th anniversary of the Republic of Estonia. This will also be the day when a year passes from the moment Russia extended its brutal aggression against Ukraine. I wish that by this date, the last Russian soldier has left the internationally recognized territory of Ukraine. Even if my wish may be too optimistic, one thing is absolutely clear. Russia will lose this war and Ukraine will win this war. So that Ukrainian people could freely decide on their future, so that Estonia and Ukraine could belong together to the Euro-Atlantic family of the democratic countries. Let us continue working towards this goal. Estonia stands by Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!